Good morning. This is Spiritual Teacher for you. If you're coming across this video on my page for the first time, this is a very raw version of how I normally appear. But it felt like it needed to be that way. It felt like rawness is here. This could be the feeling of feeling naked and vulnerable to the world, right? That you've done several cleansing things, and now it's like, wait, I'm not showing up in the same way that I used to show up. This is different. This feels different. I now feel very vulnerable. I feel very seen, and so there I can feel those feelings around the energy of this reading, and so that's what we're going to dive into today, okay? I even turned on my bright light, my ring light, and then it was like, no, this is supposed to be fully just normal, like coming, sitting down, pressing the record button. Still got all my jammies. I got my coffee. So, oh, I'm glad that I pulled this up. So, let me take a sip. The new moon is coming very soon, and I can tell from the energy I feel from it, this is a very powerful new moon in manifesting. So I almost feel like if you are into doing rituals and manifestation kind of ritual things, manifestation jars or vision boards or whatever, this is the best time to do that. And so I have a jar that I'm going to be putting my manifestations in, and I'm doing it on the new moon, which I believe is Tuesday. It's the 21st. Also, I think I recently saw where Pluto is completing a cycle. So this is going to be some high emotions are going to be here, because this is a new cycle I feel coming, that's ending and then also coming. So with an ending of a cycle, that is when you have the most revelations and the most emotional epiphanies. It's just a profound time for clarity and illusions, huh? Illusions being kind of wiped away. Like, it's almost like you see the man behind the curtain, right? I'm getting Wizard of Oz imagery here. Like, the man behind the curtain is exposed now. You see what the big theatrics were about. I said theatrics. Interesting. Maybe 3 acts is coming through here. Maybe there's someone who's in theater here. Maybe someone's in a group of 3. I don't know. However, 3 resonates with you. Could be a birth date, could be the month of March, could be 3 weeks. I'm getting all of a sudden 3 days. 3, though, when I said theatrics, I felt a group. So I do feel like there's like a core group of 3 people. Could be like a husband, wife, a child, or 3 friends, or could be 3 sisters, could be just a group of 3. 343 on the clock. On the timer, I mean. Okay, we've got, and this just exploded out, so I feel like it's time for messages now I'm feeling, honestly, this feels like a bigger energy, feels universal almost, so almost like the universe is giving these messages. Let me tune in just a second. Yeah, all I'm getting is like divine spirit, This just feels like the energy of the universe, you guys. It just feels that big. Like it's the overarching energy that's going on in existence right now. Oh. So we have Ace of Wands, and we have the Hierophant, and we have Knight of Swords. So energy is definitely moving quickly right now. Very quickly. I can almost see this as so quickly that some people don't know how to handle it. I do sense that there is a spiritual awakening happening right now through all timelines and existence. So there's a shift, a complete timeline shift happening in multiple planes of existence. I'm getting earth energy and like air energy, so almost like, yeah, so this has something to do with the elements here. Something to do with nature. All right. So I've put these three cards in the middle with the Hierophant in the middle, the Ace of Wands on the left, and the Knight of Swords on the right. And I feel like the cards that I'm putting around this now are the surrounding energies around this spiritual awakening. So the collective I'm tapping into now, you are curious about things on a worldly grand scale, because you see the details. So I think this is to give you that broader perspective as to why you're going through the things and why you're feeling the things that you're feeling, because you have to remember you are connected to everything. And if you don't understand that yet, ask for spirit to provide a way for you to have perspective on that, okay? So let's see what the surrounding energies is of this spiritual awakening for the collective. Okay. We've got the Lovers reversed. Okay, are my cards upside down? They are not. And we've got the Two of Wands. So the collective at this time is finding balance. They're at an imbalance, but they're finding balance is what I'm feeling. They're getting in touch with their sensual nature, their creative nature, which I feel is connected. So I feel this opening up almost sexually, but it's more sensual. It's more getting in tune with our bodies and understanding the energy flow through our bodies. Wow, yeah. So I think what I'm getting here is to pay attention to the energy that goes through you and where you feel energy at in your body. Is there, I feel like, and spirit wants you to move. Like I keep getting this feeling to like move in ways that you haven't moved before, like almost like somatic yoga or that whole thing around somatic movements. And it's supposed to unlock the emotions that have been blocked in you. So I am seeing like this blockage in allowing emotions to flow fully. And so, oh, I almost felt like that movement right there is just kind of releasing for, and also, yes, I'm getting that if you go outside and sit and you just kind of breathe in and visualize that earth energy coming up through your spine, your tailbone, the coccyx, up through your spine, through your chakras, and kind of up through your crown, connecting to spirit. And you waft that energy with the motions of your arms up like this as you are grounding and pulling that energy up. This is very related to Tai Chi and just that movement of energy to get it flowing, okay? But I am getting to warn you that when you start feeling these new energies of sensuality, spirit wants you to slow down. Yes. Because that Knight of Swords energy is coming through here, almost like this new wave of sensual energy just makes you feel a little crazy because it will remind you of when you were a teenager and hormones started rushing through you again, because that's kind of what is happening, is that these hormones are rushing through you again because you have released them by moving in that way. Okay. So as that happens, it can be quite, it depending on your circumstances, it can be quite overwhelming for your partner, or it can be quite frustrating if you don't have someone to help you release those feelings with. So, Spirit is wanting you to be patient and understand if your partner is not reciprocal to the energy that you're coming at it with, because they may not be going through the same thing you are. Also, this rush, it's almost like a dam, right? Once they release the dam, the water floods with a rush, but then it eventually levels back out. So that's what's happening to you as you allow this movement, as you heal your sacral chakra, because that's what I'm getting really, is to move that sacral chakra, and just get the hips kind of moving and your root, and just move in ways that you don't normally move. Dance, it's dancing, and so with that movement is like the key to unlocking this, or letting the dam down, and just this flood of this energy that's been blocked for so long, because of whatever you've been going through. Spirit wanted me to go back to those that are single. Of course there's ways to allow this to flow through without just going to find something or someone to release it through, right? You can release it through art, dancing, self exploration, all kinds of things. Just don't allow it to frustrate you, because then that's going to block it again. That's going to put the dam back up, and then it's going to be pent up again. So it needs to release in a healthy way. And Spirit saying you'll figure out what that is. Okay. So what else is the energy surrounding this spiritual awakening? That's almost like step one, you guys. Or that could be the phase that I feel the collective in at this time. So be patient with your partner. Don't take it personally if they don't match your energy. But maybe have that open conversation that you are feeling some type of way. And if they would be interested in helping you out, y'all can find creative ways together to allow this energy to express itself in a healthy way. Okay, you guys, it's a fun time. Actually, it can be a very fun time. When you start getting to the frustration level, that means it's not being properly released. So there needs to be some effort towards finding a different way. We've got strength. So this, I do feel a fire sign, Leo here. The Hierophant is also Taurus energy, okay? If I am incorrect in that, and I'm not going to take the time to look it up, please let me know. I feel like the Lovers is also Gemini energy, if I'm correct. You know what? My curiosity. Hierophant is Taurus, and then what is the Lovers? And yes. Oh, I was correct, you guys. What a great affirmation. Okay, I should have just believed myself. Okay, so there's a message there, like, to trust yourself, because otherwise you're going to take time. I probably took at least a minute from the video by looking that up when it was correct anyway. So there is this just trusting yourself, okay? The moon is here, so this feels to me like the reason strength came out is because in this awakening process, you will be faced with your shadows. And as much as you think you've healed and you've grown, this flooding of emotions coming through is going to make you face shadows that you may have buried and not dealt with because other things were happening in life, So there is this energy of allowing the space and the time. And you guys, we just talked about the new moon at the beginning of this reading. So the moon here is very significant for this new phase that you're going to be experiencing with this spiritual awakening, this new sensual energy. And y'all, I say sensual, but it's also passion. It's love. It's just awakening. I can't, you'll know when you experience it. You'll know, okay? So whatever these shadows are that come up, it's not the time to ignore them. This is the time to face them, to say, okay, okay, so I am lazy. Why am I lazy? Why am I doing that? Okay, so I like to cuss a lot. Why do I like to cuss a lot? There's this time to really face them and go, there's nothing to be ashamed of here. There's nothing to be guilty or feel guilty about. Your shadows are part of you. And the more you try to disown them or block them or shame them, the more they get bigger and dominate you. And they don't allow your light to shine fully. They dim your light when you give them that much power over you. Your shadows are there to remind you of who you are and how connected you are to everyone. Because guess what? Everyone has these shadows. Everyone. Whatever you are feeling inside of you that you're ashamed of, Spirit is just really wanting you to reflect and just shake hands with and say, okay, so I just need to keep an eye out for you and understand that when you show up, I'm needing to look into my light and see why this shadow is showing up. And I just see this partnership happening, like a shaking of hands, like an agreement, like a peace treaty. Okay. Four of Wands. Four of Swords. Ooh. Wow, Four of Wands is marriage. Happiness. Okay, so that's somewhere in there. But Four of Swords is about resting and feeling safe to do so. I mean, look how those swords are above him, but yet he's resting peacefully here with this sword below him. Almost like you are safe to rest now. You're safe to go, okay, I don't have to keep rushing and pushing. And this is a surrendering energy, almost like, okay, we're okay. We're fine. Everything's okay. Things are getting clearer. I'm safe. Why did I ever think I wasn't safe? It's a feeling of being safe now to rest. And so, when your body finally feels safe to rest after decades of not feeling that way, it's going to take advantage of it. And you're probably going to want to just crawl into bed and sleep literally all day. And it wouldn't feel like enough. And then when you do get sleep, you wake up feeling achy and, because your body needs to move, right? So Spirit is saying that feeling to want to rest is very natural and expect it to happen. It's going to happen. Please do take naps, but don't let it ruin your day. If like the other day, I laid down at like 3:00-ish. And I didn't set an alarm because I was like, oh, I know. I'll just, close my eyes and then I'll pop right back open. It'll be like 20 minutes later and I can get up. Well, 3 hours later, I woke up in a panic. And I was like, no, do not go down that road. Your body obviously needed that. And I just allowed myself to be okay with it. And I actually was productive the rest of the day. And it was balanced and it worked out just fine. But my old self was trying to come up and make me panic, thinking that I ruined my day by sleeping for 3 hours in the middle of it when I had things to do. But nothing was ruined. And I was able to hit those things head on with clarity. So let yourself rest. I'm getting to mention that a lot of people, when they retire, who've been working their entire lives all day long and have been married to their job, when you finally retire and don't have that connection to such a time consuming, energy consuming thing, your body goes into rest mode. And so a lot of retirees feel bad because they're just wanting to sleep or wanting to rest. And it's like their body is like, oh my God, finally. And this can happen for a long time, a long time. And there just needs to be a grace period, patience. Everybody's path is different, including your own. You guys. Stop it. Oh, this is magic. I love it. So there's a belief here that there's a belief that Spirit's wanting you to have, that you are magical. And they want you to believe it and know it and use it. This is manifesting your dreams. And for someone, it is very important to you to find someone to love and be loved by. Even though I do feel that, give me a second, I need to make sure this energy is what I'm actually feeling. Spirit, can we get confirmation about that? Okay. Right. So the Chariot comes out, and that's exactly what I'm feeling, is that the love that you've been desiring is coming in as you balance your light and shadows, as you accept your light and shadow, as you increase your self-acceptance and self-love, and as you create a treaty with both sides. And there's this beautiful merriment, this beautiful harmonious merriment of your divine masculine and divine feminine. And just look at the castle behind you. This is you. And then you know what's going to happen after this? Everybody's clapping and congratulating you. And then you go off into your castle, the thing that you've built, and you join each other in this divine mission. Yeah, this is heading towards that divine mission together. And Spirit is confirming that there's this reunion happening of masculines, divine masculines and divine feminines that have worked on healing and balancing themselves, coming together to fulfill their purpose. I'm seeing and feeling a lot of partnerships, harmonious partnerships, elevating, uplifting, uprising partnerships coming in, which is all part of it. It's all part of it. It's almost, I'm getting like a zipper. You know, the zipper's separated, but as the zipper, actually, are the prongs called the zipper? No, it's the prongs. And the prongs come together as the zipper goes up. So the zipper is you. You're the zipper. You're the one aligning the divine feminine and masculine sides. And I'm seeing the zipper go up. Wow. Very cool visualization in my head. Okay, is there anything else, Spirit, that you're wanting them to know? They want me to get my romance and love deck. Oh. And you must be connected to your animal guides because they also want to come forward. All right, romance and love. Let's see here. Ooh, I'm getting a all of a sudden like a throat thing here as I pulled the romance and love cards out. So I do feel like there is something you're wanting to express. Okay. I definitely feel romance, you guys. I'm getting King of Wands energy here. Lots of passion. I feel lots of passion between you and your person. And it's oh, that's something else they're wanting me to tell you. That when you, as the zipper, unite this masculine and feminine sides and you meet your divine counterpart who has also zipped, when y'all physically touch, there's going to be a rush of hormones, just like I was explaining earlier. And so it's almost like they wanted to connect that feeling that I was describing earlier in the reading to that moment when you touch them. You guys, it's magical. It's magical. Okay, so what does the collective need to know at this time in love and romance? Okay, so toxicity needs to be taken out of your life. Any relationships you feel toxicity from, they need to be alchemized, or the energy around it needs to change. This doesn't mean that you have to cut people out of your life that you view as toxic or that exude toxic behaviors, but it does mean boundaries, setting boundaries. Look at those wires, right? Those are the boundaries put up between you and this toxic energy. You can still love this whatever this toxicness is from a distance. You don't have to be touching them or seeing them or being in their physical presence all the time, okay? Even though they will make you feel that way. We've got imperfections. Love is a beautiful mess. It is. You don't have to be perfect to be beautiful. You just have to like yourself a little more every day. Marilyn Monroe said that, and I did a TikTok on it. And I also shared it to my Instagram and Facebook as Spiritual Teacher for You if you want to check those out for just more like videos like that. Yeah, perfection exists, but just like unconditional love exists, you have to be at a certain level of understanding and awareness in your spiritual awakening to understand what perfection actually is. Because the truth is, perfection looks imperfect, but it's only because we only see part of it. And the perfection of it is that when it's all together, it's so perfect. It is absolutely perfect. And so unconditional love and perfection go hand in hand, because as you realize that loving unconditionally means loving something, someone, or whatever, loving in a way that absolutely nothing affects the love you have for them, or that, whatever it is that you have love for, that nothing can affect it. Nothing they can do or say or be or go or whatever, nothing will affect the love that you have. That is unconditional love. And I'm getting that brings up feelings in some people because, yes, clear the throat. Because when you believe that love needs or has to have conditions on it, then you truly aren't at a full level of understanding about unconditional love. And having an understanding of unconditional love does not make you better than anyone. It doesn't make you any more perfect than anyone, because understanding it does not mean that you are necessarily practicing it. And so I felt a disconnect just now, or this pulling towards understanding that understanding unconditional love is just another level of unconditional love. There's actually more to it than that. Living in it is a whole new level. But that is this spiritual awakening that I feel happening is we are heading to that point of unconditional love, just like Jesus. Okay. Jesus definitely came through there. So I had to make sure that I mentioned him. His level of love he had for the, we'll just say collective, because the collective could be the tiny or the big collective, you know? The love he had was unconditional. Nothing they did made him love anyone any less. And he had all the reasons to, you know? And we even doubt that he truly loved others in an unconditional way. But I'm getting that he truly had unconditional love. And he did not live a long time to that point. How old was Jesus when he was it 33 or 27? When did Jesus get crucified? Yep, how old? Sorry. How old? How old was Jesus? 33. Around 33 it said. Guys, it happened again. I just need to trust myself. Okay. He was 33. So the number's 33, 3 and 3. And did I mention 3 earlier? Yes, I did. So that number is very powerful right now. You may be seeing it a lot. It's 31, 41 on the timer right now. All right, we've got sacrifice. This is another concept that you are coming into understanding about. And we also have voids. And this is another thing that I just love how these cards came out, because these are all things that we all have misunderstandings about. And as you awaken, as you spiritually awaken, you start to change your perception of what these things actually are. Toxicity is a mirror to what's still in you. Whatever they've got in them that is showing up as toxic, it is just a reflection of something that's still in you, right? Imperfections. We all have them. There's levels to them. There's levels of understanding and awareness and acceptance of them. But to think that love is going to be perfect, it is. But you have to grow and heal to understand that. Sacrifice becomes something complete. Like, we see sacrifice as giving something up. When you're going through this, you may feel as though you're giving something up, but really what you're doing is you're letting go of something. And sacrifice never comes without you wanting it. Even though something may feel like it was forced upon you, the reason it feels that way is because you may not have chose it, but you did. You did choose it by saying you wanted to heal, saying you wanted the truth, saying you wanted to know. You chose this spiritual awakening, and it has never been forced upon you. And so this sacrifice, to some, I feel feels heavy, but really what it's doing is lightening you. It's lightening you. You're sacrificing getting rid of all of the old so you can lighten up, so that you can awaken further. And so that's where void comes in. This reminds me of the rest card. This is the time after you make a sacrifice where you give something up to rest in the void, not try to fill it, not try to rush to fill it with stuff that you used to fill it with. So some of you may try to rush into getting into a relationship right after you end one. Do not do that. Okay, some of you try to rush into, like, I'm getting someone losing weight and getting this empty feeling, and so you want to fill it with something, but what you filled it with before was food. But now you know you can't do that. So there's this patience I'm feeling of this void will be filled with the right things, the things that align with you. But there's this void period, like this in between state of when something will come in that's truly aligned to you. But if you try to fill it with what you used to fill it with, you're going to repeat the pattern all over again. Okay. And that, you guys, is the end of this reading. This was pretty, this felt pretty profound and like touched on a collective that's really going through a lot. And if you are tuning into this reading, you are definitely someone going through a spiritual awakening and you are waking up and you're going through, I'm feeling a rebirth. Some of you may have felt like you've crawled out of a hole and everything hurts and it's bright and loud. Yeah, that's the rebirth because this is a new life for you, okay? So embrace it, enjoy it, love it, open your heart, and just be flexible, okay? I'm sending so much love to you. Thank you so much for joining me in this raw reading. It had to be this way. Now I understand why. And yeah, much love and light, guys. Till next time.